anyone who had been molested as a child, anyone who have been raped as a young person have a greater tendency of raping people when
I
they're
don't.
older. Do something about this.
The first thing they want to is,
They
what were
ask
you putting on?
exactly.
Yes,
They begin to
yes.
ask. They begin to ask a woman, "What were you putting on?" And I keep
Exactly,
saying,
like your clothes. Like a man that is disciplined, even if
Should.
you're putting on a just a pant or a bra, you would respect yourself enough to walk
And
away. Hello guys, welcome and welcome back to our comment studio. My name is Ifoma.
and I am Sam.
Yes, today we're going to be pointing out a negativity, or should I say an error, that could affect the existence of mankind if we don't talk about it. Today we're going to be discussing rape. Yes.
Yeah. So without wasting much of time, we are going to be inviting Sandra, and she will be throwing more light into this topic. So let's put our hands together. So welcome,
Come, Sandra. Welcome to our comment studio.
"Hello,
Please, could you like introduce yourself?
my name is Sandra DK, and I am the founder of Go Through Teens Foundation. Our foundation was created with the sole purpose of inculcating good values into teenagers, young adults, so they grow up into responsible people that's going to make decisive uh, decisions about themselves and the society where they find themselves in.
Okay, that's really lovely. Yeah. So let's move on to today's topic. Yes. So what is rape? Like we hear about rape every day. What is rape?
Okay, rape is the forceful sexual assault. Rape is engaging in sexual relations with someone forcefully against their will.
without the person's
Okay.
Yeah,
consent.
so according to Susan B. Carbon, she is a US director of the Office of Violence Against Women, and she emphasized that any form of penetration, no matter how slight, to the vagina or to the anus, by body parts or by objects, could account for rape. Basically, rape is when you forcefully have your way with somebody. So the underlying factor, no matter whatever definition that has been given, is consent. So when there is no consent, it's rape. So if you have your way with someone through intimidation or forcefully, or there are instances where there are people who cannot give consent as a result of temporary or permanent mental incapacity. Yes, they could not give consent. We have, for example, people that are having mental issues or
Or people that
babies,
can't
or
talk.
yes, people that can't talk, and all of that. So that is
That
the
is
line.
rape.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you very much. Okay, so what could account to rape? Like what are the things that could account to rape?
Okay. Before you say a rape has occurred, there are certain things that should have happened. One is this: there is no consent, right?
Yes.
Two, it's against the will of the person. Three is pretense. So some people could pretend. There are several cases in Nigeria where you hear on the news, over the news, that someone was raped, and he thought it was his wife or his husband. You understand? So when a sexual intercourse occur under the guise of pretense, that could account for rape. And also when someone cannot um, um, give consent. Like I
Okay.
mentioned earlier. Yeah.
From what you're saying, I am sensing that you are trying to say that we have types of rape.
Of course.
So coming from that context, can you actually give us
The
different
types of rape.
Okay, so there are different types of rape, depending on how it occurred and where it occurred. So we have gang rape, custodian rape, ancestral rape, um, marital rape, uh, child rape, whatever rape.
Okay, can you throw more light
Kindly
to,
explain.
yeah, kind of explain
Because
the
there are some really
difference?
funny ones I just heard right now.
Yes,
I don't
like
understand.
custodial rape and
Ancestral.
Yes, so
Yes.
please.
Okay, the custodian rape, like the name sounds, when you keep someone in custody primarily children, people that cannot consent, and then whosoever their guardian take advantage of them, that is considered rape. We have
Okay.
ancestral rape where probably in some times, and some traditions where the the witch doctor per se
Yeah.
wants a continuity with the family, with the child, to bring forth offspring that would continue, the family
Continue the
line. We
dynamic.
have rape by deception. This is when you try to deceive someone, like I mentioned, when a man pretends to be the husband of another woman, then rape her. Yes, there are incidents like that. We also have the marital rape. This occurs between husband
And wife.
and wife when the man forcefully tries to gain access to his woman. Although this is not doesn't account for rape in Nigeria, we have corrective rape. Some people believe that when you offend them, they can get back at you for correction through corrective
Rape.
Exactly, through
God, I
corrective rape.
beg.
We also have the gang rape, like I mentioned, and then we have date rape. So you hear some stories about people going to my Facebook date and all of that. I met him on Instagram and he raped. So that's just among so many other kinds of rape.
Okay. So from the look of things, when you go online, you see a whole lot of news talking about rape and everything like that. And the kind of research I've made, I've not seen if they arrested this person for committing. The only thing we hear is rape occurred and the rest of it.
So you see in Africa, particularly in Nigeria,
Yeah.
the issue of rape has not been given much red as it should.
Okay.
It's not been given so much attention as it should. Rape is a very disastrous thing. It's a very heinous crime, right? In fact, rape is a criminal offense. And of course, there are laws in Nigeria that guides, rape. We have like the criminal code, we have the penal code, we have the child rights act, among so many others here. So these are laws that have been established to punish offenders, rapists, in quotes, when they, perpetrate such crimes. But like in Nigeria, our laws are not very strong. We have the laws, but there is no much compliance with the law in Nigeria. You mentioned something. You said you don't hear people being arrested. They are usually arrested, right? But the problem is there's a slow judicial process as to punishing
the person,
offenders.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's nice. Like so many people have been raped, girls, guys, but you hardly like hear from guys. They would never come out tell you, oh, I was raped, or I was this, or I was that. What next after rape? Like, what do people do after rape? Most people are injured for life. They don't know what to do. They don't know who to talk to. So what next?
So when rape occurs, it's very important that the victim visits the hospital for healthcare. Yes, so they are being given contraceptives, and this should be within the first 2 hours. 72 hours of the offense being occurred. Yes, so they should be taken to the hospital to be checked, and then given contraceptive, and then there's also what we call HIV PEP, an antivirus medication,
Yes.
so people don't become HIV victims or HIV patients as a result of exposure to a HIV rapist. Yeah. And also the person should seek
Counseling.
Yes, such a person needs counseling, and then also visit a psychiatrist. Yes. So and then though so many people shy away from this, at that point, make sure. In fact, the first thing you should do is to report to police. Report to the police, the local police, in the vicinity. So the issue is being taken up immediately. But some people do shy away from it.
We've been talking
Yes.
about the victims. We're not talking about the criminals. It is said that charity begins at home. Rapists have homes. They have parents. So, what are the parental roles in preventing rape?
Okay. So This question is really, really very important. Now you see, in the mind of a rapist, what he wants to do is just take advantage. And now, before a person becomes an adult or becomes to the extent of being a rapist, he has gone through certain agents of socialization that have shaped the life um, he has.
Mm.
Yes. So, um, in line with your question, I'm just going to discuss the mindset of people that rape and what should be done about it. I believe that education is can never be underestimated in this
Never
aspect.
underrated, yes.
Yes, so you parents, mom, dad, should begin to inculcate. This is what the foundation is all about, right? Inculcate the right values in these young ones. You understand? You tell your child from a very tender age, your boy child. People try to place emphasis on the girl child this, the girl child that, but the boy child. These are the main culprits, right?
Yeah.
So what should you do with your boy children? Endeavor to teach them that a woman's body is sacred and their body also is sacred. Teach them to say no and teach them to respect
No.
others, right? And then for your girl child, teach her that she should always say no when somebody touches her in a way that is not right, even at school. Because sometimes teachers in school, perpetuate this heinous crime. So you teach your education can never be underestimated. You teach your boy children how to say no, how to respect women, and then you teach your girl child to also do the same and respect
Okay.
themselves.
From
Yes.
all you said, there's another aspect I would want to lay more emphasis on, like
Okay.
the area of the parents not listening to the children. I've had issues
Yeah,
like
yeah,
that.
yeah.
The child will want to talk to the mother, but the mother don't want to listen. We are having this kind of parents in this civilized world where the child will want to speak. Because I've heard stories like that. The lady will say during that period she tried talking to the parents, but they weren't listening to her. And some will say when they say the uncle, they tend not to believe because they know the uncle cannot do such thing. They will start thinking that maybe the child is kind of accusing the uncle rightly. So I think this is another area. So I'm trying to say that our parents need to give their children listening ears
Yes.
to actually know what they want to say. I think that's another area we have issues.
Yes. So I agree with what you said because speaking about prevention, parents, a lot of, especially African parents, they tend to turn a deaf ear when the daughter tries to mention something. And sometimes, even when they know this rape has occurred, they blame the girl child. There are instances in the reports from the police station, even the police, law enforcement agencies are supposed to, do something about this.
The first thing they want to
They,
is
they
what were
ask
you putting on?
exactly.
Yes,
They begin to
yes.
ask. They begin to ask a woman, "What were you putting on?" And I keep
Exactly,
saying,
like your clothes, like a man that is disciplined, even if
Should.
you're putting on a just a pant or a bra, he would respect himself enough to
And
walk away.
another thing is anybody that wants to rape, whether the person is putting on tight
Clothes, so that
clothes
person
or
is putting
it's
on
not,
cardigan
the
and shoes
person
and
is
now,
still
everything. The
doing
now
person
to
that.
wants to
answer your
rape.
Yes.
question, what will you say about people that rape 2 months old?
Yes. Okay. In that area, yes,
These are
I've
the
seen
these,
I
something
don't.
like that.
these are the issues. These are the issues. And sometimes I was going to mention this. You see, some rapists, anyone who had been molested as a child, anyone who has been raped as a young person, have a greater tendency of raping people when when they
I
are
don't.
older.
I don't think I
Yes.
Yes,
agree
yes,
with
yes.
that.
They call it anger effect. So they've lived. Rape is a very broad topic. I wish we had so much time to discuss it. There are so many consequences for it, the psychological and the physical
Physical
aspect of it.
Yes.
So part of the psychological aspect of it dawned on these people. You could literally live with the image of a sexual assault all your life. It haunts your dream, it haunts you in the physical, it affects your body. So some people have this anger, bubbled in them, and then they unleash it on little ones. I'm not saying this is the overall reason why people would think of
Think of rape.
something
Okay.
as that raping kids, but this is one of the reasons, right? And again, there's what we call um, 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 slow no justice. So sometimes you see cases of rape in the police. The case is being adjourned, and then these rapists are moving around freely. And then you see instances of where someone has been raped, and the rapist is having a case in court, and he rapes someone else because he feels that the law is not really strong around sentencing him. You get, rape is a criminal offense. You could risk a life sentence, or as little or as low as, I mean, the least number of years you could get, prison sentence is 12 years.
Okay, I didn't call you, and I think we really need to talk more on this child because parents need to pay attention to their children, most especially those ones that cannot stop. 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, 1 year, 2 years, till they can be able to communicate effectively and efficiently. So I think that's what I have to say.
Yes, and also to add this, not just educate them, but also protect them.
Yeah.
So you need to protect your kids. Don't trust strangers, even your pastor, even their teachers. You understand?
Down to your brother living with you,
Yeah,
to your
and
yes.
their parents. There are people whose parents abuse. You get, and sometimes as a result of shame, some families will cover this. They know it has happened.
Don't tell anybody
don't tell
outside. We'll
anybody.
settle it.
And then because they keep covering this, you see those people still doing the
Doing
same thing. And sometimes this victim is living in shame, in fear, and is very suicidal. I really wish we could
I think
discuss
I think
the consequences of this
I think we're going to
subject.
continue.
Yeah, we are going to continue on this because from what you said, the incident of covering this rape of a thing in a family, I heard a story of a young lady who this happened to, and the uncle ended up raping her like 3 times. You understand? So I think the best thing is we are going to have this conversation again. I think we are going to have maybe the second episode of this.
Yeah, so if this is your very first time of coming across our channel, kindly subscribe to this great world we're creating. I'm sure you enjoyed the video. Yes, I'm sure. So kindly subscribe, like, comment down below what you think, so we'll know what we're missing and what we are not really talking about. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So Sandra, we are very, very happy having you around. And
Yes,
I believe
we are.
when we call you to still come back to the studio, you will come in. Anyways, so please don't forget to subscribe and give this video a thumbs up.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.